probably say like some of my earliest memories in this small town, probably like 35 minutes south of Boston. I had an uncle. He lived in Wisconsin. He served in the Marine Corps. He used to come visit me all the time. I had to like instill like certain, I wouldn't say instill, but like he always like kind of held that certain standard that like I feel like good Marines carry on after they get out. And he was that's just something I always like remembered about him was um I mean, I'm saying that like he's gone, he's not gone, he's still around, but he he kept that standard. And like I can always remember that growing up, hanging out with him and stuff. And that was something that um kind of was always in the back of my head. He would always be like, "Hey, you're gonna be a future Marine." I knew that. He knew that about me. And I didn't even know it in myself. But going back to my childhood, I always liked to play sports. I wasn't like the best in school, but I was an athlete, and I always wanted to make it in some sport, baseball or football specifically. And I didn't even see myself going in the military until I was like, I think I was probably a senior in high school when I really started to think about it. Um, but yeah, it wasn't really something that I saw myself doing until as I got older. I started to realize like school's not really my thing. I'm probably not going to go to college. I'm probably not going to try to get some degree to do some white collar job or some shit. So um I don't know. I just went through life kind of getting by in school. And I wouldn't say I had like a tough childhood. It wasn't the best, but a lot of people have it a lot worse. I moved like 14 times or some shit like that, probably more. My my parents split up when I was like 10. Um, lived with my mom at first. But I've always been super tight with my dad. And um, he every time I moved with my mom, he would always move the next town over just to be closer to me. And he got I remember he got this house like a mile down the road when I was just like it was probably like a year or so after my parents split up, maybe 2 years. And I just couldn't do it, live with my mom anymore. And I just ended up moving in with him. And then we moved to Plymouth, Mass. And then we basically started a life there. And he got engaged to this lady with two daughters that I couldn't fucking stand for years. But it was I guess everything happens for a reason. And it ended up leading me to where I am now. But I don't really know. I mean, my I always kind of thought that I had a tough childhood until I got here to the barracks, or even in the Marine Corps in general. And you get to see so many people from fucking all over the country that get to share their story. If you do get to hear it, then you realize that like your shit is not anything compared to like what a lot of these other kids grew up having or having to deal with. Some kids were born with a fucking silver spoon in their mouth, and they just you can kind of see that. And you can tell the difference between the Marines that had it tough and the Marines that didn't growing up. In their attitude and their work ethic and fucking everything. But I wouldn't say I had it super tough. I mean, I'm still close to both my parents. And I'd just say I did have some um, some built up anger from my childhood that kind of pushed me to make some poor choices in like as far as getting in fights and stuff. And I would also say that I just have a short temper when it comes to um like dealing with shit. Like when people give me shit, I've matured a lot since being in the Marine Corps and since just growing up in general. Obviously I joined a little bit later. Um and I'll get to that, but I just I've started to be able to kind of control my emotions a lot better um since being in the Marine Corps. It's taught me a lot of patience. Um but I don't know. I think joining younger is definitely better. Like if you can join when you're 18, 19, even 20, it's not so bad. I was pretty frustrated in the beginning. I joined at 23. I turned 24 in boot camp. I'm 25 now, and getting told what to do by like, I was even older than like some of my drill instructors, and I'm in there. I'm like, obviously I knew what I was getting myself into. I did kind of think that there'd be a lot more older guys when I joined, and I thought like it wouldn't really be like a big separation between like the younger guys and myself, but you don't really, as you like kind of go through the process, you start to realize that it doesn't really matter. I mean, like, you guys are all going through the same shit, and like there's always going to be like some dickhead in charge of you, and like it doesn't really matter like how old he is or how old you are. Like even in fucking the real world, when you got some bullshit job, like your boss, like he's in that position because he was there before you. It's not anything you can do about it. You just got to deal with it. So I mean, I've kind of like come to peace with that, and now it's not really so much of a big deal to me. And like, once you pick up like rank, and then you realize that like, I don't know, nobody kind of eventually like people stop giving you shit. Not to like sound like conceited or whatever, but like I'm like a bigger dude, so like people, it's not like they use their rank like to like kind of make me feel like shit, or to fucking, I don't know, just like pull rank over me for whatever the fuck reason. Obviously they can, but I've realized that like for the most part this far it's been like in a pretty respectful manner. So in the beginning, like as a boot first being here, a little bit it was frustrating because I'm like, this motherfucker's 20 years old and fucking talking to me like whatever, and I'm just like, I don't know, just had to bite my tongue a lot because that's just what you got to do. But that shit's kind of over with now. I don't really deal with any of that. But I think that going forward, I think the best thing you can do is just fucking be the best Marine that you can. Just put in your full effort, because it pays off. And like, what the fuck, like that's something that pisses me off about the Marine Corps, is like people get in here and they just get comfortable, and they get lazy, and they do the bare minimum just to get by, because they're just like, fuck, like I fucked up my life, like I shouldn't have done this, I shouldn't have joined, but like you fucking did. So like you can either like feel fucking bad for yourself and feel sorry for yourself and just skate by, or you can just fucking actually get the most out of it and like be a good dude, grow, and like be a good Marine, because like that shit's gonna pay off like one way or another when you get out. And like, what the fuck's the point of, like, I see guys here that have been in the Marine Corps for like 2 or 3 years that just haven't grown like whatsoever, mentally, physically. Um, and like, that shit just sits wrong with me, but it's not my life. So like, what are you gonna do? But I do try to fucking, like, I will try to talk to those guys and like try to help them out. Sometimes they don't want to hear it, but like sometimes they get it and they just like need that little extra fucking push. So, it's good having like good guys around in your platoon, or like in your squad or whatever, that can help you, that like actually care and can push you, because sometimes some guys need that. Getting just kind of going all over the place now, but I just think those are some like basic things I want to talk about and a little intro. But
Yeah, if you kind of want to backtrack, because I feel like it's an important part of your life from that time you graduated high school up until joining the Marine Corps.
yeah,
I know you went through a lot during that.
yeah. I was, after high school, I just I was gonna try to go to college. I went to community college for like a year, just to, I wanted to run track in college, and I I went through that year. I actually did pretty good in school, but I just decided like I just don't fucking like it, and I didn't want to do it. And I talked to a recruiter, and tried to get that process started. You know, I I wanted to be in the Marines. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. If I wanted to be, it was like kind of my family trying to tell me like, you don't, like, I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to be infantry. I don't want you to, like, I don't want you to die, like this and that. And, I didn't want to worry them, but I knew I wanted to be a Marine. So when I first enlisted, I didn't pick infantry. I actually don't remember. I think I just told my recruiter, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, just put me in anything. So I actually don't remember, but it doesn't matter what my job was then, because I was still like young and immature, partying, like going to college parties and this and that. So I went up to UMass Amherst with a couple of my buddies, and tried to get into a party. Fucking I went up with like, you gotta have that ratio, so I went up with like 4 of my buddies and like 8 girls or something. I didn't even know them. I only knew like my only buddies that I went with. And one of my friends that went to school there, that was with us, and his friends. So we go up to the door. The guy's like, he's like, all right, you're all good to go. And then me and 2 of my buddies are like, all right, we'll be right back. We just gotta go take a piss. So we went down, away from the door, took a piss, went back. Guy's like, I don't know who you are. Like, come back with girls, you're not getting in. And long story short, ended up getting in a little argument with him. And one of the guys I was there with that went to school there, they started talking shit to each other, got in a little fight, and I had to go break that up. And then fucking went to go break that up. Fucking kid threw a punch. I had to fucking handle that. He was kind of like, I just saw, I was drinking. I just saw him on top of the kid that I was there with. I wasn't like boys with him. I met him that night, but I was with him, so I was gonna back him up. And broke that shit up. Fucking kid threw a punch at me. I just knocked him out, and he ended up hitting his head, and fucking had to go to the hospital. Had like 3 brain bleeds. Fucking apparently, I don't know. Kid was fucked up. Like, not to brag, but like obviously I didn't want to fuck him up that bad. I just wanted to I only hit him once. I just wanted to fucking break up the fight and defend myself. That's really all it came down to. But the kid ended up getting really hurt, unfortunately, and it ended up having to go to court. And then fucking that was like October, like a week after I enlisted, and I was like, fuck, dude. Like, I can't get in trouble for this. Like, I just enlisted. I'm supposed to leave in May. So I ended up getting a call from Amherst police. They're like, hey, like, were you involved in altercation last night or 2 nights ago, whatever? I'm like, who is this? They're like, Amherst police. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. They're like, all right, well, you're going to have to come down for, like, some questioning. I'm like, if I come down, are you guys just going to arrest me? And they're like, I can't tell you that. So I just hung up the phone, called the lawyer. The lawyer's like, yeah, that was smart that you didn't go there because they probably would have arrested you. And, like, it would have been a lot worse. So I ended up, I went to court. I thought I was going to get a, what was it called? I can't remember the phrase that they used. But it was supposed to just like, continue without a finding, something like that. So they were just gonna like, I don't know. The case was gonna be like dead, but there was gonna be no verdict, and I was still gonna be able to join the military. And I wasn't super happy with that because I was coming to the defense of my friend and just defending myself, and this kid was just being a punk. But I literally just wanted to get in the military, so I didn't care with whatever the sentence was, or whatever the verdict was. But they said they're not going to be able to do that at that time. I need to come back in like a month or two to just continue on with the process and see what they say. Fucking my lawyer calls me again, like, hey, like the courts are closed because of COVID. We're not going to be able to have you come in. It's going to be another couple months. So ended up being like that just ended up kept happening. And I just got more and more frustrated because my life was on hold. Like that was my plan. And I didn't find like a solid job until like I just couldn't find a solid job because I kept thinking I was gonna leave. Like why would I go out and look for something long term? So granted, my dad did own a sandwich shop that I could work at that helped me out a lot, and it wasn't something I wanted to do long term, but I was doing that for as long as I could, and then the court case ended up being like 3.5 years long, and it just really put me on hold. So that's why I'm 25 now as a Lance Corporal, and I could at least be a sergeant by now. But it is what it is, and I guess I'm kind of glad in the end that like I waited because I would have had some bullshit job, and like I met a lot of great people, a lot of my boys I'll have for life now. I'm sure I probably would have met some of my other friends if I stayed that route, and that never happened. But it's not the same. I wouldn't be in infantry now, and I wouldn't have the boys I have now, because I think going through the suck that I went through for training, for fucking like through IMC and all that shit, and just I didn't really plan on coming here, but I mean I'm not too mad about it. It is what it is. Not a terrible duty station, close to home, but and it's only 2 years, so and I had a lot of my boys come obviously with me from IMC, so I really can't complain. But going through the suck with those guys, brings you a lot closer than like guys that you go through fucking MCT with, and then whatever some bullshit schoolhouse is. Like, it's not the same. Like, going through harder times together is like what really brings you closer. So I'm glad everything worked out the way it did, and I'm here now. But
So how did you get into infantry? Like, at what point was your recruiter like, "Hey, you're gonna get an infantry contract"?
Um, I think I switched. So when I went back to the recruiter's office after the court, so I should probably go back to that. Like I said, it was like a 3.5 year long court case, but at the end of it, I was finally able to go to the court, and they offered me a full dismissal if I paid like 2,000 restitution, and I didn't give a fuck. I'm like, whatever, 2 grand, fucking get the thing settled, get it over with. Apparently the kid was pissed. He wanted like way more money. He wanted me to pay for like his fucking hockey pads he didn't get to use, and like a semester of school, and fucking whatever other dumb shit. Um, I wanted to take it to trial to fucking win the case because I think I would, but my lawyer disagreed. He thought I wasn't going to win the case, so he said, this is probably best case scenario, and I agree because, I don't have a fucking misdemeanor on my record or a fucking assault and battery, so I guess it is probably the best route that it could have gone. But it got dealt with, and I went to the recruiter's office, like, I think the next day, and I'm like, hey, like, I'm ready to go. So, and all new recruiters in there, but I know like everybody kind of hates their recruiters, or like not hates them, but like don't have any sort of relationship with them. But since I was dealing with the process, even after that court case happened, it took me like another year to join because they had to get like a bunch of waivers, um, for whatever reasons that don't really matter. But I ended up being pretty cool with my recruiter. We had some mutual friends, and I still talk to him to this day, even though he's not even a recruiter anymore. But talking to him, and and one of the other recruiters in there who's another good dude. Like they're actually like good dudes that like a lot of recruiters just push guys through because they're trying to get numbers. They don't give a fuck. Like they'll fucking shoot fucking bullshit up your ass all day long. Like just gassing up the Marine Corps, telling them everything great, nothing's wrong with it. Like you're gonna love your life, this and that. Like they fucking like obviously they're doing their job, and they do gas up the Marine Corps, but like they obviously or they honestly want like the best for you, and like that's why like I fucked with these guys. Like so after talking to them, one of them was in infantry, or two of them were in infantry actually, and I was like talking to them about it. That's when I made my decision to want to join, and go infantry. So I talked to my main recruiter, and I was like, yeah, like I want to do that. Originally wanted to sign a 31 contract, but they didn't have any, so I had to sign 11. And then actually I think it's just the open infantry contract, 0300, and then they decide in your schoolhouse. Pretty sure that's how it works. So that's what I did, and then he he was like, if that's what you want to do, that's the best thing for you, then fucking go for it. Um, it just seemed like that was like the best, um, like the best option for like getting deployed. Seeing fucking cool countries, and you know meeting some of the best friends that you'll have. That's something that helped lean me towards that choice. Um, but yeah, like I said, I'm glad I did. Um, Plus, like once you're fucking grunt, like you just look at pokes differently. As cliche as that sounds, it's just like, I have friends that are pokes too, but it's just different. And like, another thing I wanted to get out of it was like, you know, I never like shotguns or anything before joining, and like now I know I'm like, pretty comfortable with that. It feels good. Um, I wasn't too worried about like getting a job after that was gonna, carry over into the real world. Um, I always kind of saw myself doing something in like law enforcement or like firefighter or something like blue collar anyway. Um, I'll figure that out when I get there if I don't stay in. So
So from that point, right, you're getting ready to ship off to boot camp. You got any stories from boot camp you want to share? What was it like, showing up? Obviously, on like the yellow foot, everybody talks about the yellow footprint, so you kind of got to give your story about that and just kind of go through boot camp and what that was like.
yeah, I honestly had no idea what to expect going into boot camp. Like they have those fucking pulley fucking um, function or yeah pulley functions and like um, usually like recruiters will kind of teach excuse me teach the pulleys about what it's gonna be like going into boot camp, what to expect, marching, um, fucking shit like that. I never really went to any of the pulley PTs or anything like that because like I just like going to the gym on my own time. I wanted to prepare myself, which I probably should have gone to a few because I had no fucking idea what to expect going in there. Um, first day, I think it was the first day. I fucking get there. It's like I think maybe after like 24 hours of being there with like no sleep, they start teaching us marching, and I'm like, I didn't even know we fucking marched in boot camp. I did not know that was a part of it at all. I thought it was all gonna be like just fucking preparation for like I don't want to say like war, but just like I thought we were gonna have rifles like the first day and just practicing combat shit. I thought that's sort of what boot camp was gonna be like and like hiking and this and that, but um, started teaching us marching. I'm like on fucking no sleep the last 24 hours. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing right now? Like, what is this bullshit? And I think we did that for probably like 2 hours maybe, and then just to give us like a basic idea of what we were gonna start doing fucking for the next 13 weeks. And we get into our. I should back up a little bit because getting off the first plane, I think you take two planes. The first plane to I think Atlanta from Logan or from where I was from Boston to Atlanta, Georgia, I think. And then from there, I think or maybe it's one plane and then a bus. I think that's what it was.
That's what I did. One plane and a bus.
So we took the first plane to Atlanta and then got some food, and then we had to be in a certain area of the airport at a certain time. So like we just start walking down there, and then there's like two drill instructors just fucking walk towards us, and they're already like fucking starting right there, like right then and there. They're like all of you walk with me right now. So we start walking with them.
Well, so that part is weird because like when I went and you show up and they're like, they didn't really say much to me. They were just like, just sit down, we'll be right back. And at that point you don't know, like you're like, did we start yet? Like, is this where it starts? Or
I wouldn't say they made it clear that like it's already fucking began. It was just kind of like they weren't like friendly. They were just like, all of you walk with me right now. So I'm like, we're already starting? And then they're like, go into this room, put your phone in the box. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't even say goodbye to my family yet. Like, I thought that like I was gonna be able to make another like a couple phone calls, text, whatever. So we go in the fucking room. They're like, turn your phone off, put it in the box, and stand over there. I'm like, shit. Like, all right. Fucking put my phone in the box, sit over there. And then I think they might have done like height and weight or something in that room. I don't remember. And then you're just looking around. You're just looking at all the other fucking little pussies that are fucking scared shitless. I honestly, like, not even to try to sound like I'm fucking hard or anything like that. I was just so fucking pissed off that I had to wait so long to fucking join. Like,
you were ready to go.
I genuinely had no fucking nerves going through my body. I was not nervous whatsoever. Like, I was like, all right, like, this is what we're doing. Fucking, I didn't care. So we fucking end up having to line up to like get on the bus. I think they gave us our phones back, but we still had to keep them off. We get on the bus and they're like, everyone just kind of sat on the bus, lights off. I remember the bus driver playing some like soft music, some like fucking like, I don't know. some fucking easy 99.1 music, some fucking soft shit, and I'm just like relaxed, I guess. And then they're like, it gets to a point. I started texting my girlfriend and my mom and my dad. I'm like, hey, like, I think this is the last text I'm gonna send you guys. Like, I love you, and I'll write me letters, and I'll talk to you when I can. I remember they said, like, don't turn your phone on, don't send any messages, but I didn't care. I still was going to. It gets to a point where they're like, all right, put your head down. So everyone has their head down. They're just fucking sitting like this for like an hour and a half, and your neck's cramping up, you're uncomfortable, and you're just like, fuck. Like, yeah, this is gonna suck. I know some of my buddies that I talked to after that were like, yeah, dude, I was fucking shitting a brick. But like, genuinely, I was just ready to fucking get it over with. Then you fucking get there and they all start fucking screaming at you, and I'm like, this isn't gonna be bad. Like, this isn't shit. Whatever. Fucking, I have to make that phone call. That you arrived. Call my dad. Think he was drunk in the casino. He was like laughing that I was calling him, and he was trying to talk to me, and I had to read that fucking script. But and I was like, he was like, I told him how it was gonna be, and like, that I wasn't gonna be able to say anything besides whatever was written on that script, and he kind of knew it, that I wasn't gonna be able to say anything, so he was just like, all right, love you, pal, like, I'll write you letters. And then I hung up, and then it all started. Fucking sat in that room. Did you go to Paris Island?
Yeah, that room was ridiculous.
Yeah,
they made it freezing.
Yeah, it was freezing.
To stop you from falling asleep.
You're wearing your fucking polo and khakis. I think I had jeans on. Fucking.
And they made me. I just got a new Calvin Klein jacket, like, for Christmas.
Yeah.
And then like a month later, they're like, yeah, if your shit doesn't fit in this one bag, toss it. And I was like, I'll either throw out my jeans. I didn't want to throw out my jeans. It was either I threw out my whole outfit or the jacket, and I was like, fuck, I just threw out the jacket.
Yeah.
Which I was pretty pissed about. It was a pretty nice jacket. It had like fur on the inside.
Oh, damn.
But like, I learned later on that I could have just put it in a second bag, because there's people who had multiple bags.
Yeah. I remember that. A bunch of dudes had to throw some shit out, or like their shit was moldy by the end of it, because it was just in a warehouse with all like humidity and shit. But yeah.
Some kids, I don't know how, but they, like, the first time we had our Foot Lockers dumped, dudes had like civvies, like their jacket.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
One kid had his watch, and they're like, how the fuck do you have this?
I remember one kid had like 3 pairs of underwear. Like, you don't wear underwear in boot camp. You just have your fucking skivvy shorts, and they were like, and my drill instructor was like, "The fuck, son?" He's like, "Why the fuck you got Calvin Klein underwear in here?" He's like, "Sir, I don't know. Sir, this recruit doesn't know." Some shit like that. He's like, "Throw that shit out right now." But I don't know. Boot camp, really, looking back, I thought it was tough, but the toughest part was really just, not being able to talk to my girlfriend or my dad or my mom, or just having that like communication. That's really the hardest part. It's really fucking not that bad. It kind of just, it sucks not getting treated like a human being for 3 months. You're just treated like a fucking thing. Like, there's times in boot camp where like your drill instructor ease up a little bit. They make you laugh, and they fucking, they'll still fuck you up for laughing, but like it's still funny, and you do kind of realize that like they're just doing their fucking job, and like just play along with the games, and like you'll get through it. I'm not trying to give fucking boot camp advice, but I'm just saying, like, it really wasn't that bad, especially after going to like IMC. That was fucking way worse.
Yeah. Mostly
because of the heat. If it weren't for the heat, it really wouldn't have been terrible. But
so you got any funny stories from boot camp that won't get anybody in trouble?
Yeah, I was probably like the biggest fucking dumbass in my fucking platoon. Like, I never did anything. I probably would have been a lot worse if it weren't for like worrying about being dropped. You know, I just want to get out of there as fast as I could. So like, I never did any dumb shit that was gonna get me dropped. I just did like dumb shit that my drill instructors were like, "You're a fucking retard." Like, fucking. I remember. I'm sure some other people could tell some stories that I did that like I can't remember, but like towards the end of boot camp, I think we were Marines already, and fucking they were still like hazing us a little bit, and he was like, he does that little fucking countdown. He's like, all you get your fucking camis and boots on right now, and it was like 10. That was like 10 o'clock at night or some shit. So we get dressed. He starts counting. I didn't have my socks on because I think we just got out of the shower. I didn't want to put my socks on, and you know, you have to do everything by the fucking book. You got to put your fucking boot socks on. You can't put any other socks on. But I didn't put anything on. I just put my fucking boots on, put my camis on, and then he counts down. He's like, all right, now fucking blouse out the body. Fucking down, all the way down to fucking boots off the body. Or I think he said boots off the body first. He said it backwards. So he might have known that I didn't put socks on, but I was the only one that didn't have socks on. He's like, okay, left boot off the body. Left boot off the body, I sir. And then fucking everybody has their fucking, and I'm hiding behind the stanchion. I was like back left, I don't know, starboard side or some shit. He's like, he walks down the center highway, and he's like, he's looking at everybody. And he just like, he walks past me, and then he just fucking stops, and then he looks at me like this. And he's like, what the fuck, Monsini? I'm just like trying so hard not to laugh, and I'm just like, I sir. He's like, okay. Monsini doesn't want to put his fucking socks on, and just fucked everybody up. And then everybody, actually, when he said that, he looked at my foot because I'm hiding my right boot in front of my left foot, like kind of standing at attention. And I'm like, I'm literally trying to cover it up, and then he fucking sees me hiding it, and like you could tell he was laughing because he went like this, and fucking tried to hide it, and you know, it was still funny because we were already Marines at that point, so like we really didn't give a fuck, but you know, that was a funny story, kind of like probably one of those you had to be there moments, but another time we had to shave really fast before an inspection. I think it was like company inspection, and I had to shave really fast, and I just fucking kind of half-assed it, I guess, and he fucking walks up to me, and he was like, that was the hardest I've ever seen him try not to laugh in my life. Like, he comes up to me, and he's like, drill instructor, stop signing the goal. Fucking, he's like, yes, drill instructor. They both walk over, and he had this funny-ass face. He's like trying so hard not to laugh. He's like, Monsini's got a whole ass half a mustache right now. I fucking literally shaved half my mustache. Like, probably another one of those had to be there moments, but it was funny as fuck. He's like, go fucking shave your face, son. And that was, I don't know. Those are a couple of my funny stories, but fucking a lot of that shit in the fucking Marine Corps so far is just shit you like had to be there for. Like, it's in the moment, and like, I don't know. What about you?
Me? You want to hear funny stories from me? Shit. I told this one in that little like intro episode I did.
Yeah.
But we had a kid who was like, I don't know, it didn't really matter because he was going like admin, but he totally just didn't fit for the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
And this was like the first time we ever got our footlockers dumped. So they're like dumping the footlockers, and a pine cone falls out of this kid's footlocker. This is definitely like you had to be there because you're not gonna find it funny, but it was funny. And so the drone instructor just stops, and we weren't getting our footlockers dumped. I think we were just making sure our footlockers all look the same. So like your fucking sweats go here, your this goes there.
Yeah.
Your note-taking gear goes. And so he's walking around like making sure that everybody put whatever he said in the right spot.
Yeah.
And he gets to this kid, and he's like looking in the footlocker, and he sees this pine cone. stops. He takes it out. And none of us are like really paying attention because we're trying to like put our shit in the Foot Locker. And he's like, "Oh, you look at me." So we look, and he's got this pine cone in his hand. He's like, "So now somebody tell me when we were told to keep pine cones in our Foot Locker." So we're all like, "Never, sir." And he's like, "Now," I forget the kid's name. He was like, "Now, recruit, why would you have a pine cone in your Foot Locker?" And the kid goes, "To know when it's going to rain, sir." And he goes, so now how the fuck are you supposed to tell if it's going to rain if it's locked in your Foot Locker, not getting any fucking sun? So now some like other recruit like down the line was like, "Sir, it's not the sun. It has to do with the barometric pressure." And so now he made the drill instructor look dumb. So the drill instructor's like, "So we want to be smart too, right?" He's like, "Now I'm tell you what's gonna happen. Every time I pluck one little like piece of the pine cone off, that's 10 burpees." And we just sat there until he plucked every single little fucking thing off the doing burpees.
Do you remember? You probably don't, but like there was these fucking spiky ass pine cones. Like, it wasn't. I don't. It might have been like a pine cone that was like fresh, like it didn't have the fucking.
I remember on
the fucking little whatever it's called.
During Marine Weeks, we had a working party. We had to go pick up all the pine cones.
They were like tiny.
Yeah.
They were spiky as fuck.
Some kid like the day before, at the like where you did like BWT and the Crucible and those hooches.
Yeah.
Some kid had tripped over one of them, so they took us, who we were already Marines. They took us on a working party to pick up all the fucking pine cones in the area.
Yeah.
And we had to pick up a bunch of those. So I know
The
what you're talking
spiky
about.
ones?
Yeah.
My fucking senior drill instructor is walking. I think we're doing the Crucible, and he's walking with like 2 other drill instructors, and he fucking picks up a spiky ass pine cone. He's like, "Ah!" He's like, "Shit's sharp as fuck." He's like, "Monsini." He's like, "Hold on." And the other fucking one of the female drill instructors just starts like laughing, and I'm like, "Okay." He fucking hands it to me. He's like, "Squeeze it." I'm like, "All right." Fucking squeeze it. He's like, "Harder." I'm just like squeezing it harder. And she's like, "Stop." She's like, "Why the fuck are you squeezing that?" I'm like, "Senior drill instructor told me to, man." And she's like, "I don't give a fuck." She's like, "Drop the fucking pine cone." I'm like, "All right." Fucking dropped it. He's like, "Pick it back up." I fucking pick it back up. He's like, "Squeeze it." He made me do it like 5 times. She kept telling me to drop it. She's like, "Why the fuck do you keep picking up the pine cone?" That's just like the dumb shit that they do.
I forgot one part. This is probably the funniest part, and I forgot it in the story. So before he tells us about like every time I pluck it, you're gonna do 10 burpees.
Yeah.
He's like, he was like, "Take a bite," to the kid who's in his Foot Locker, and he's like, no hesitation whatsoever. He's like, "Ah, sir." He grabs the fucking pine cone. He just takes a fat ass bite out of this pine cone.
He's a fucking idiot.
Like a fucking apple. Like, what are you doing? Like, not like, didn't question it at all.
I remember fucking also during the Crucible, there was another female drill instructor. She used to fuck with me all the time, but she looked at me. She was like fucking way in the woods, and I'm just like, I don't remember what we were doing. We were just walking, like, you know that fucking long airway strip? We were just fucking walking down there, and she fucking looks at me. She's like, "Monsini." I'm like, "What do you say, I man?"
Yeah.
I was like, "I man." She's like, "Why the fuck you got a thick ass neck like that for?" And one of my drill instructors looks at me. He's like, "Say thank you, man." I'm like, "Thank you, man." She's like, she said some funny shit. I can't remember. But yeah, I don't know. Boot camp was fucking dumb. Pretty funny. Fucking glad I did it. Glad I don't gotta do it again. I don't know.
What was it like going home after boot camp for the first time?
Fucking unexplainable feeling. Like, I would say, like, I fucking counted those days down, like, every fucking day since I was there. Every single fucking day.
Did you have the little, I had the little It was like 56 days or whatever.
I made my own fucking calendar.
Yeah.
Like in my
A lot of people
writing
almost
rain,
did that.
I just fucking made a big fucking square, put the months and the dates, and every single fucking day I'd cross one out. I'm like, fucking. Actually, I think at one point my girlfriend sent me a calendar, and I was just crossing them out from there. But
Did you go on RA at all?
going home, yeah, I had RA. But the first 10 days were fucking. That first day, even on Paris Island, my family was just like.
I remember the first thing I
fucking
did,
feeling.
like, you know, you get through graduation, everything like that.
Yeah.
They were staying like Airbnb right off base.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to go get a vape. Like, I haven't fucking vaped. And so, backtrack a little bit.
You should have just quit, dude. Like.
I was going to, like, my drill instructor during Marine Weeks, one of the first things he told us was like, hey, if you like vaped or dipped or smoked or did any like type of nicotine or anything, like, you already haven't done it for 3 months, so don't pick it back up.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, that's a fair point. Like, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
And then like the next day, I like walk out in like the main like stairwell,
Yeah.
and like all the drill instructors, there's like 15 drill instructors like in like a circle just passing around this box mod. And I'm like, motherfuckers, you told me not to do it, now you're just sitting there. So I'm like, fuck it, I want to fucking vape. Like, as soon as I get out of here.
Pretty sure every single person picks it right back up.
Yeah.
Like, that's. Yes, you shouldn't, but, like, you're just around it. Like, everybody fucking does it in the military. Like, I fucking think it's stupid. I think vaping is fucking retarded. Like, yes, I'll still fucking hit one. I don't buy them myself, but I'll still hit them every now and then. But, like, I think it's fucking retarded. And I don't think fucking. I don't know. I don't think fucking anyone should do it, but, like, you're just around it because everyone fucking has it, so, like, it's hard to fucking not do it when your boys are all doing it. I guess if you don't, you have some strong willpower and good on you, but,
I went to this fuck off gas station, and when I left for boot camp, like, elf bars were like the shit. Like, everybody was smoking elf bars. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get an elf bar. Got an elf bar. Like, didn't even give me a buzz after 3 months.
yeah, I didn't
Didn't
really
even-
either. I thought it was
give
going
me
to
a
be, like,
buzz.
the first fucking Juul hit ever again. You even know what a Juul is?
Yeah, I used to have one in ITB. That's how I. Oh shit.
Yeah, this is better. I mean, fucking, I don't like Rogues, but they didn't have any Zens left, so.
I don't like the wintergreen though. That's bad
I like Wintergreen.
flavor choice.
I
It
like
just reminds
wintergreen.
me of. It reminds me of dip, so it's hard to swallow. 'Cause you don't swallow dip, so it's like.
Well, I
Getting that
remember.
flavor of dip.
I dipped. I didn't mean to say I remember, but in fucking IMC, dude, in the field, I fucking dipped more than I've ever
Dip
dipped
was-
in my
yeah.
life, because like that was just a huge fucking thing. So, I fucking started to love the fucking taste of wintergreen after all the fucking dip that I did in the field, and now I dipped when I first got here, but I just don't like the inconvenience of it, especially like. You know, the first few weeks here of like, you know, checking in, like, you're in buildings a lot, and they're not gonna let you spit in bottles and shit. So, fucking, you know, Zins are just way more convenient, and like, it's not. I don't know. I guess like I don't really see how it's bad for you. You know what I mean? It's no tobacco. Like, you're not getting fucking cancer from it.
Yeah.
But Zins are fucking better than Rogues. These taste better actually, but they don't fucking. I feel like they don't work as good. But
Dipping was like the first thing like I
I'm
got
gonna
into.
spit this out.
Spit it out.
Grab that trash.
You've had it in for a minute?
Yeah.
Almost fucking missed there.
But forget what I was saying.
I was saying how dip was like the first thing I got into. So I was a freshman in high school, and my cousin, we were out hunting, and he was like,
That's some fucking redneck ass shit right there.
yeah, and he was like, yo, like, I started doing this thing when I hunt, and he pulls out the tin, and he's like, but I I wanted you to try it too, but I got pouches for you.
You were like, what, 14?
Yeah.
I was 14 when I dipped for the first
Yeah.
time.
And he was like, because the pouches won't fuck you up as much as long
Same.
cut will.
Pouches.
And we're sitting in this tree stand. I'm like, all right, cool. He's like, but put 2 in. Like, he fucked with me. He was like, you're not going to feel 1. Just put 2 in. Obviously, if it's your first time, you're going to feel 1.
Yeah.
So I put 2 in. And now it's starting to, like, I'm starting to feel it. Like, first time I ever had nicotine,
Your lips burning
I'm
like
buzzed
a
out of my
motherfucker.
fucking mind.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm looking.
Start getting like cold sweats.
And I'm like, I need to fucking stand up. I stand up. I start spinning. I almost fell out of the tree. Like, I don't know if you ever hunted, but you wear a harness. And literally, that was the only thing that kept me from falling out of the tree was like my harness got taut. And I was like, oh shit. I'll sit back down. Now I'm like,
You throw up?
I'm sitting. No, I didn't throw up.
I didn't throw up either. You were fighting it though?
I was fighting it. And
Yeah.
I'm sitting there. I'm like, I'm looking. I'm like, is that a deer? I'm like, I think I see a deer. He's like, where? I'm like, hold on. Let me like, I'm looking. It's a fucking tree branch. Like there was like a little tiny tree and it had like branches sticking off it. It was
You thought
fucking.
it was,
tree
like,
I
the
thought it was a
horns, the
fucking yeah. I
antlers?
thought it was an antler of the deer. So that was my first experience with dip, and then my cousin was like, "All right, next time, like you'll try some long cut." So next time we're together, we're hunting, putting long cut is a much better experience. He's like, "You want to take it home with you?"
Because you can take like a smaller amount.
Yeah, and it's more controllable.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, I'll take it home." And he's like, "All right, cool." So I hide it in my bag. You know,
He's like, oh, let me get my 14-year-old cousin hooked on dip.
yeah.
Fucking.
He's like, don't do it a lot. Only do it when you're hunting. Like that's his rule. Like still to this day, like
He only dips when he
he
hunts.
only dips when he hunts. It's not like a regular thing for him. And so I get home, and I'm fucking paranoid because I'm like, dude, my parents find out they're gonna kill me. So
Oh, dude, I remember that feeling.
my bed was like up against the wall,
Yeah.
and I had like 2 mattresses. So I stuck it on like the side of the wall, like in between the 2 mattresses, and I would take it out, like, and go out back at night and do it. And so there's one night I'm like, I'm gonna go dip. So I grab it, I put it in my sweatshirt pocket, and I go downstairs. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go. My neighbor, he lived behind me. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go hang out with him. My mom was like, I don't know. My mom just knew something was up, I guess. Maybe she saw like the outline of the tin. I don't know. I haven't asked her, but she was like, come here. So I'm
No,
like,
your parents just know when you're lying, dude.
I'm like-
That's just how it is.
I'm like, fuck, dude. She's gonna fucking. She's like, give me a hug. I was like, oh fuck, she definitely knows. She didn't just ask me for a hug out of nowhere. Hugs me. She reached in. She's like, what the fuck is this? Like,
because she wanted to smell you. She probably thought you were high or some shit.
at least I wasn't high. I never got into that. That was one thing that luckily I stayed away from.
But she felt it when you hugged her?
I
She
guess
felt
so.
the tin?
She pulls it out, and my cousin had like he briefed me. He was good. He was like, hey, if your parents catch you, like, because obviously then if I told her like I got it from my cousin, then she's gonna tell his parents, and then we're both gonna be fucked. She's like, just tell her you got it from your buddy at wrestling to cut weight, because this was in the middle of wrestling season.
Valid.
So pretty fucking good excuse. And she's, why do you even have this? Like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I'm trying to cut weight for wrestling. I got it from one of the boys in the wrestling team. She's like, oh, okay. And didn't get in any trouble.
Really?
Yeah.
Did she tell your dad?
She told my dad. My dad was like, you should have made him swallow the whole fucking can. So he never did it again. But
Did she give it back?
no, it sat on her desk for like a good like 4 years, and I just took it back. Like I ran out of. I went on a
you
little-
did not take it after 4 years.
I went on a little dip kick, and like, I ran out of dip, and I was like, "Fuck it!" Like, it's gonna be dry, but I'll just try it.
No
And
way.
It didn't do it. It didn't even taste like anything. And it didn't work. It was nasty, but I spit it right back out. But yeah, it sat on her desk for like years.
Grizzly or Cope?
Cool.
Yeah, I always like Cope better.
Do you remember?
I like Kodiak though.
You remember in ITB during PB ops when our
Oh,
platoon
Staff
sergeant?
Sergeant Witten let us dip.
I was trying not to name drop.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Whatever.
we'll cut it. Oh, reset.
When Staff Sergeant let us dip.
Yeah, when Staff Sergeant let us dip, and I had my fucking Apple Watch, and I had a
Oh
fat
my
ass
God,
lip in.
Yeah. Yeah, we were fucking. You were my egg gunner.
Yeah. We were on the fucking 240, and fucking my watch started going off. It had the
Amber Alert.
Amber Alert, and so
Yeah, but fucking Corporal
oh yeah, the fucking corporal that was going through the course
had his fucking phone on him, and he got the Amber Alert too. So you actually could have got away
I
with
could
it,
have got away with it, but
you fucking fessed up.
yeah, at that point I was like, you know, I might as well just fess up because I didn't want everybody to get searched like we had like previous weeks.
When I was with you though, like I honestly didn't hear her. I think I did hear his, but yours seemed loud as fuck.
Yeah, mine was loud as fuck, and I couldn't turn it off because like I don't know, the Apple Watch is, you know, the phone you just press your power button and it turns off. This one I'm like,
you were
fuck.
like, you were panicking. You were like, fuck. You were just like, fucking trying to hide it. Fucking sat on it. You're like, fucking trying to make it turn off.
Some kid one of the kids with us was like, comes by, is like, hey, Staff Sergeant knows it came from one of you. Like,
oh yeah.
I'm like, I bring it. I have a fat ass lip in. And I'm like, should I spit this out? They're like, fuck it. I'm not gonna spit it out. And fucking takes my watch.
Well, he did say.
Yeah, that's why. But then I was like, I thought I was gonna be in trouble. To be honest, I thought he was gonna be like, pass it up. So I was like, fuck, he's gonna like say like, why are you dipping too? Like, take back on his word. But he just kept it till we. I was supposed to get it back when we got back from the field, but I didn't get it back till like weeks later. He just kept forgetting about it.
It wasn't on purpose.
Which, yeah, it's understandable, but
that was actually fun though. Like I didn't mind the PB ops at all. Like, fucking, we did have to stay awake a lot, but like, we were just kind of chilling. We went through like fucking 3 cans of dip.
The only part that was kind of like, certain person showed their ass when Staff Sergeant left and the Sergeant took over. Sergeant Rat took over, and then he's like, hey, I know where this other platoon is at. We're going to ambush them. Yeah. And we like moved. We moved the whole PB.
We had to move, and then there was like a fucking snake infestation, so we had to move again. And then
they ended up never even coming. Like, we sat there for like 2 hours, and he's like,
yeah,
I was wrong.
Yeah, that was gay. He tried to blame it on the other fucking sergeant too. He was like, yeah, he doesn't know how to fucking find us. He sucks. But like, he actually just went the wrong fucking way. But IMC sucked during the week when we had to fucking
hold on, backtrack a little bit. I want talk about.
No, you're good.
Talk about don't. God, I know we can like. I don't want to fucking like. I don't want anybody to like happen to see this shit and then like be like, oh, he told the story. Now let's start an investigation. But like, talk about Matt Company, kind of what that was like. What Matt Company even is.
Yeah, Matt Company. When I first got there, I got there on the 4th of July, which was gay as fuck. This is when my fucking RA ended, and had to check in that day. It was hot as fuck. I fucking changed over into my service alphas at the airport, like as soon as I landed, and then fucking called an Uber. Fucking like, I think it was like a $200 Uber from whatever airport that is in North Carolina. And I was the dude's first Uber ride ever. He was chill though. And fucking checked in, and I found out that like a bunch of dudes just checked in civvies. Like, I could have just checked in civvies, so whatever. But I fucking got there, and I'm like, wow, this place looks like fucking hell. Like, this doesn't look fun. Fucking, they bring me to my rack. It's a fucking little bunk bed, and put all my shit in the fucking not Foot Locker. What's it called?
The ball locker?
No, what's the fucking locker?
Oh, the coffin locker?
Coffin. And yeah, just kind of put all my shit there. They gave me some fucking nasty stain sheet, fucking gross ass pillowcase and pillow, and I just fucking racked out. Woke up at like 04. We fucking wake up. Formation is 04.
Were you like, cause like for me, I was like, what the fuck is going on in this place? Like,
I'm like,
I would have.
Damn, this place sucks.
I would have never admitted it then, but like, I was pretty upset. Like, I so like remember when like the kids on duty at like the front door, they would always like be like a hard ass to the new kids who showed up.
Yeah, they
Like,
weren't really to me though. I mean, they were. I didn't know who the fuck they were. I just saw them like
yeah,
they were on like duty or whatever, and I walked in. I'm like, I think I called them sir. I had no
yeah.
fucking idea who they were.
I was like, I had that was the same with me, and I was like,
I'm like,
I wasn't sure if I should be like proper with them or like.
yeah, exactly. Me too.
And then I go to like the duty hut to check in, and like, I'm like a little nervous because I'm like, I can't see his rank, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm like, okay, what do I call him? What do I call him? I just kept saying like yes, yes, and then the one dude, like the other dude was like, he's a fucking staff sergeant. He started like blasting me.
He's fucking with you.
Yeah, and then I was like coming off of I had a fucking month of RA.
Yeah.
So coming off of that and then going here, like when you're on RA, like you think shit's sweet.
Yeah.
Like you're like, oh yeah, this fuck's sick. And then you get there and you're getting yelled at. And you're like, I just want to go back. I was like, I just went out to get my bed, started unpacking. I'm like, fuck this shit. I just sat down.
I got there late as fuck. I was supposed to check in like by the latest 11, and my flight kept getting delayed, so I didn't get there until like 12:30 in the morning. And I get to the gate, and I was like, I'd never been to fucking Geiger before, obviously, so I'm like, I don't know. Like, I talked to the fucking MPs at the gate. I'm like, where do I go? They're like, you're checking in? I'm like, yeah. They're like, all right. And they fucking called fucking duty desk at Matt, and fucking the fucking staff sergeant that was on duty had to fucking come pick me up. He came pick me up, fucking drove me back, and he was kind of chill. He didn't really say much, but thought he was gonna be a dick, and thought he was gonna be pissed that I was late checking in. And they got me squared away, and then I remember waking up in the morning, going to the first formation. I just see everybody like a bunch of people like sleeping on the fucking pavement.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm like, fuck, like this looks fucking weird. Like everyone's just fucking sleeping on the pavement right now. Then fucking sergeant comes out, and they're like, fix it. Remember that? Everyone's like, fix it. They fucking everybody stands up. We're in fucking formation. They do counts, and then I see a couple of my buddies. I didn't know you at that point. And then I think they're like, all right, fucking everybody back. Oh no, we go to chow. Did we go to chow right away?
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, all right, fucking. What did they say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever.
Yeah.
And then that's who gets to go to chow. Fucking go to chow. Come back, and then you get like a couple hours. You could probably bro, I slept so much in that company.
That's really all it was you sleep and go on your phone. You PT for
We had
like
some
an hour.
fuck off PTs there though.
They were like
some fuck off PTs. Like, remember one day we ran like fucking 8 miles in the heat, dude. Like just so much fucking running and sprints and fucking shit was dumb. But
what did that do to your mental? Because I know for me, it fucking.
I
killed
did
my
get
mental.
depressed at one point. I was depressed as fuck, and I'm like, dude, this fucking sucks. Like, I'm here for a month, and then I got like another like fucking almost 4 months of training. Like, this shit doesn't even count. That's what was getting me. I'm like, I'm here for no fucking reason right now. This shit don't even count.
What fucked me a lot too, and it probably fuck with you, is like most of my boys from boot camp that like. So when I saw most of my boys from boot camp, once I saw them, I kind of calmed down a little bit. It's like, all right, this will be fine, right? And then they get picked up in a different company, and you get left behind. And it's just like that was a real fucking blow too.
You got fucked over on that because you should have picked up with.
It was me and Dobro were like the only two that didn't go.
Yeah. I don't know what happened there. The reason I didn't was because I missed the fucking swim call by like a week. I didn't. Did you do the swim call like a week before?
Yeah, I did. I did the swim call when I got there, and then a week later.
Yeah. I didn't do the swim call until like the next one they had after they picked up. But yeah, all my buddies picked up with ACO, and then I was like, damn. But I still had fucking. Well, I still didn't really know you until like.
So we got on like the same deck, probably like But even then, like, it was like a good like 2 weeks,
Yeah.
or it was a while. Until we
Yeah.
really, not even. How do we? I think it was.
Oh, I remember seeing you in one of the indoor PTs that we had when we went to the fucking training facility. Like talking to you there, and you were a fucking douchebag.
What?
I was like,
I get no. Pretty much everybody I meet, I come off as a douchebag.
I think I was like, you play football, and you were like, nope. I'm like, okay. And you're like, fucking. I was like, you were like, I definitely didn't. Fucking. You said some dumb shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, you're a fucking moron. I'm walking away from you, and I just fucking left, and then fucking ended up talking to you again, and then.
I think it was. Remember you do the the accent, the Italian shit.
No, that's when we started being friends, because me and fucking Pelican just started fucking doing some fucking dumb
That's how fucking bored you get. You just start doing dumb
New York
shit.
accent, and we just were fucking pushing it, and then you were fucking doing it too, and then we just started going around the fucking barracks just fucking with people, and then we just started chilling after that, and then we got picked up. We were in the same platoon. It was dope. But yeah, Matt Company was fucking dumb as fuck.
So once you picked up, what was that like?
I was like, oh, this is worse. I was like,
Yeah.
these barracks are dog shit.
Well, in our first experience, like the rest of the platoons,
And we were smothered. We were all way closer together.
I'm talking about when we first got our SIF issue.
Oh,
The rest
yeah.
of the platoons were like just chilling, and then our platoon, like our instructor was like, "Okay,
Yep.
get up. Okay, get down. Okay." And now I'm like,
Yeah.
"Shit, we're about to go through fucking boot camp again, or what?"
Yeah.
So that was just like, off the jump, that was just like a bad start to it. It kind of rolled into
Yeah.
when we started training.
Yeah. I had the same mindset. I was like, damn, this is going to be fucking super gay. And then, I don't know. I didn't mind most of the fucking. Everyone was like, dude, we have to do the fucking 6 mile ruck. I remember a couple of my buddies in AIC that picked up before us had to do what was it called? The 6 mile ruck in,
The CAE.
the CAE. They were like, dude, it's
CAE?
so ass. I remember doing it. It's like, this shit's not fucking bad at all.
Yeah.
Especially looking back now after fucking finishing IMC, it's like, dude, that was the easiest thing we'd done by far.
And a lot of people were saying it was hard because of O course. The O course was like, it was
Of course,
easy.
it's easy.
And honestly,
It's literally all fucking mindset. If you're just
Yeah.
a fucking giant pussy and you fucking complain and you're like, you just hate doing hard work, then like, one, you picked the wrong fucking job, and two, you're just a fucking bitch. Because like most of the shit, like you're fucking infantry, you're a grunt. Like, stop acting like this shit's supposed to be fucking easy. So like,
well, when we finished the ruck, I started watching everybody do the maneuver under fire, and they're getting like 3-4 minutes, and I'm like, shit, like I don't feel that fucking bad. Like
oh, you killed the fucking.
I did it in like the same amount of time I would have,
Yeah,
like fresh.
Yeah,
And I was like, oh, I don't know what everybody's complaining about.
you killed the muff. I was your fucking.
Yeah, and you were my
was your partner.
fucking you big ass.
Yeah, I was heavier. Yeah, you fucking you. I think you got like a min.
It was like 1 minute and 57 seconds or something like that.
Yeah, with full kit. That's
Yeah.
fucking good shit.
And a miss. I remember I missed bad with the throw.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good shit. But yeah, I fucking honestly, a lot of the fucking hikes and shit, they're kind of fun. The only thing that just fucks me up is my feet, dude. I had some shitty ass boots and my feet would just get fucked up. Other than that, like, fucking the hikes are honestly pretty fun.
That 15K was pretty.
15K was the worst one.
That was worse than
I wore the
20K.
wrong
That was
socks and had the wrong boots.
because instead of doing it in the morning, we did it at night, so it was hot, and then it was just humid as fuck. So you
Humid
were
as fuck.
sweating your balls off.
Yep. The 15K was the worst hike, I think. And we're just on gravel the whole time. That made it worse.
Yeah.
But still, fucking whatever. Once you fucking do it, like, and you fucking get it over with, you're like, shit wasn't that bad.
Yeah. So then once you finish training, you get orders to 8th and I. What are you thinking at this point?
uh, honestly, when I was in IMC, I'm like, dude, like I was like looking up fucking something popped up on my fucking TikTok about like body bears, and I was like, dude, that'd be fucking sick. I'm like, I think I might try to do that, and I didn't know everything it entailed. I didn't know you had to like be at your duty station, like do your fucking first, um, like finish your first, like 4 years before you could get orders to eighth and I to be a body bear, and I fucking I was like, I was still thinking, I was like, that's something I want to do. Maybe when I get to my first duty station, they'll let me go do that. But um, I fucking, I got my orders, and so how like they did it by squad. When we were in the War X it was like the last day of the War X. We were talking to fucking one of the sergeants, and he was like, "You guys are most likely getting stationed by squad. That's just how it's always worked since I've been here, and pretty much how it goes every time." So, fucking Mather had his phone. Actually, no, I don't think he had his phone, or he didn't want to say he had his phone or whatever. But Sergeant, um, there's Sergeant West. He fucking pulls up MOL on this kid. He's like, sign in your MOL. He signs in, and then ends up telling him where he's getting stationed. He was in my squad, and I was like, all right, wherever he's going, I'm going. Fucking 29 Palms. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I don't want to go 29. But I was low key excited. Like, he started hyping it up. He's like, you guys get to do this fucking dirt bike course. He's like, it's actually pretty sick out there. And I started getting like a little bit excited about it. And a few other dudes in other platoons knew where they were going. But I was like, all right. Like, I was fully expecting to go 29. And then we get back from the War X, and Sir like has us all in a fucking circle, and he announces us by name where we're going. Fucking says 8th and I. I'm like, no fucking way. I'm like, what? Like, didn't even expect that to be a choice. I thought it was fucking Lejeune, 29, or Pendleton. I thought those were the three fucking places I was going, no matter what. And I didn't think it was gonna be Pendleton. I thought like, I even told my family, I was like, I have a 90% chance of going to Lejeune. I didn't tell them anything about 29 Palms because like I still didn't know, and like they would have been pretty upset because I probably would have not seen him for a long time. So I was gonna break it to him a different way, but I found out 8th and 9. I'm like, all right. I'm like, maybe I can fuck. Staff Sergeant actually said, he was like, yeah, you're probably gonna be a body bearer, dude. Like, I didn't know how it worked. He didn't know how it worked. Nobody really knew because nobody's ever been here. But they're like, they're probably just gonna put you where they think you're gonna be best. So they were like, yep, probably gonna be a body bearer. And then I was like, all right, bet. Like, all right,
You
that
already
sounds good.
kind of had that idea that you might want to be a body bear.
Yeah. And then I was kind of excited to come here. My dad was hyped because it was close, and like he's gonna be able to see me more. But we fucking get here. I'm like, all right, this doesn't seem too bad. Get our roommates. I was roommates with Jordan, and I was like, this is, first time I have my own room. Like, I'm not in a fucking like a
Squad
fucking
bay.
squad bay. I'm not in a fucking dumbass bunk bed rack, and like, you get a little more privacy, and you know you're like, all right, like I finally made it. Like, not the fleet, but like, you know what I mean. So I was kind of excited, just to kind of be done with most of the dumb shit. But then like they fucking, after we finished checking in, which took like fucking 2 weeks, um, it was honestly pretty fucking skate for 2 weeks though. And then SDS. I had to start SDS, but I actually ended up going on RA right before, so I missed like a week or two of SDS. Come back, fucking, I had no clue what was going on, and everybody's like way ahead, and I'm like, at first, I didn't know if I wanted to do silent drill because, you know, I don't know. I didn't know if that's something that I wanted to do here. I know that there's so many other options you can do here, like, fucking, Obviously, like body bears was still in the back of my mind. I still didn't know like what it entailed or like how you get in there or what. Um, like color guard. There was just like a bunch of things. I'm like, yeah, you know, I want to know what everything's about before I like, decide what I want to do. And there's another dude that was in um, Silent Drill the year before that was like kind of shitting on it. He's like, it's super fucking gay. He's like, you'll hate your life. Like, you don't want to do it. Kind of put that in my head, but I'm like, all right, like maybe he's just a fucking pussy. Um, it didn't really, alter my opinion, but I, I just still was unsure, and a couple of the guys that were in the platoon already, um, were like talking to me, like kind of hyping it up, like, dude, this is the best platoon in the fucking barracks, at the barracks that you like. If you want to get the most out of it, most out of your time here, like this is where you want to be. He's like, we're a great group of dudes, and like you seem like a good dude, and like I want to have you on the platoon. Like if you want to do it, like they're like you should fucking do it. Like we want to have you on the platoon, and I'm like, all right. I'm like, I went back, talked to my dad about it, talked to. I had to go on RA because I had some family shit going on, but um, I talked to my family about it. I'm like, I think I might try to do Silent Drill platoon. They have like the selection process going on when I get back, so I think, I'm probably gonna try to roll with that. And then fucking went back in. They worked with me. After hours, tried to get me caught up, and like with all the drill, and I'm slowly learning. I'm pretty ass at drill, but um, they started to get me caught up, and I ended up being like, very, very close behind you guys by the time the fucking last day came, and like they didn't really care like how caught up I was because like obviously you learn all that shit in Yuma, so I'm like, I was frustrated and like I was still like questioning whether or not I wanted to do it because of how far behind I was. And like, I saw you guys, I'm like, damn, like, I still have to learn all this shit and I'm only here, but they're like, don't worry about it. Like, you'll learn that shit in Yuma. Like, if you make the platoon, like, you'll be fine. And, but I was still frustrated because, it's a lot to learn and it is frustrating. But fucking ended up getting in another fight. Um, Not my fault, but fucking, I probably shouldn't go into detail about that, but fucking, some kid tried to steal my wallet. Fucking ended up getting a fight, and couldn't ended up getting told literally the last day of SES that I couldn't be on the platoon because of the fight, and I don't know. I was like, all right, fuck, like they're like, we're gonna put you in A1, and you'll be a marcher, and fucking, they're like, this sucks this happened, but fucking learn from it, whatever. They're like, it's not gonna set you back. Just fucking learn from it, and if you want to come back out next year, you can. So now I'm at that point where I'm like, I still, all my boys are on the platoon, and this seems like the best place to be, even though like you guys go through the suck a lot, but you do a lot of fucking traveling to cool places and cool shows. I still think it's dope, and I'll probably come back out. So that's where I'm at now.
All right, well, I think that's gonna pretty much wrap it up. Thanks for coming on, and be good.